Well, obviously, people, you can tell I've been around for a while. And also, there are other people here who could say a lot of things about Michael Sally. But Michael and I have been friends for a long, long time. Glad to see Penny here and other members of Mike's family. I knew Mike's mom and dad way back when they were members of St. Paul's United Methodist Church, and I was a member there. I had just come to Orangeburg. And then I'd known about Habitat because I grew up in Georgia, and I knew that Habitat had come out of the Koinonia community, which was down in South Georgia. Knew how Habitat got started, and had always wanted to work with Habitat, and decided that when Habitat started in Orangeburg, way back when did it begin? What year?
91.
In 91. I retired from my job in 95 and immediately started working with Michael. At that time, we were very, very small. Michael and I would be the only ones working on Saturdays. And of course, I didn't know what I was doing. I just did whatever he told me to do, whatever job. But it turned out that I kept saying, Michael, we've got to have more people. He said, okay, fine. So that began my period of the next 20 years of recruiting volunteers. And a lot of you here recruited Tom Kerr, many others that I recognize. That Steve, where are you? Steve Taylor, are you here?
He couldn't make it.
He couldn't make it this
Okay.
morning.
Anyway, and many of the people have worked with Michael as long as I did. But what can I say about him? Today is really a day just to remember him. You all know what he did for Habitat. All the years that he worked, as loyal and faithful and hardworking as anybody in the world. And one of the values that I hold dear is people who work hard. And Michael worked hard and steady every day. Most of us who know him know that he worked one pace. You remember how he moved like this? I never saw him hurry. He just always moved and talked at the same pace. And if you ever heard him start to tell one of his shaggy dog stories, he followed that same pace, telling that same shaggy dog story. Had no beginning and no end. But for Michael, Habitat had no beginning and no end. He worked on every house from the very beginning. And we remember him today for who he was as a person, for his hard work, his steadiness, and I think he has to be the star of Habitat, and I think there ought to be a star somewhere with his name on it, and I think you probably have planned for that, Jessica. We remember him with great warmth and with great appreciation, and personally I'm very glad to have been associated with Michael.